Okay, now with my first interviewee of 2024, I welcome on my show. We have none other than Chloe, one half of the True Foxes. Always nice to re-invite past guests I've had on my show. Welcome, Chloe, to my show again.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And it's been a while since we last talked. A couple of months ago, if I stand correct. What have you been up to during that time?
What have we been doing? So we've released a brand new single, and that's part of. I think the last time I spoke to you was when we released 17 potentially, which was our last single. And then since then we've been busy in the studio finishing off the album, which is now all ready to go for its release next this year. We're in next year now, aren't we? And we released Devil's Calling, which is the next single from our album uh, last month in December. Yeah.
Great. Uh, the Devil's Calling. That's quite an intriguing song title, to say the least.
hmm Yeah. So the album is based quite a lot on fairy tales and different kind of mystical stories. So Devil's Calling is another one. It's kind of a good introduction to what's coming for the album because it's got aspects of those different fairy tale stories um, kind of brought into the modern day and comparing that kind of that kind of thing. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but it's kind of thinking about Red Riding Hood and the wolves and things like that.
I've listened to the Devil's Calling, and you're still keeping that true Foxes sound.
Yeah, so we're trying to really go for a folk Americana style for this album. So we've released a few singles in the past and they've kind of gone with that folk Americana style, and we're trying to really hone in with we've added in some different instruments in this one. So we've got the fiddle and the banjo and the heavy drum beat as well going along with the bass line, which is really carrying that Americana feel. And like I said, that's a good introduction to what's coming for the rest of the tracks on our album. But yeah, we've only just really started adding in these different instruments, and we've started performing as well with these additional instrument sounds and trying to play with the folk sound
Yeah.
a little bit more.
And the True Foxes, is this your debut album? Is it?
Yes, yes. So it's coming out on the 1st of March, and we're very excited to share it with everyone. And you can pre-order it now as well on our website.
Great. A little birdie tells me as well you may be touring as well. You might be hitting the road.
Yeah, so we haven't announced the dates yet, but from or like the venues, but from the 1st of March, which is when the album comes out, we'll be taking that album on the road with us and doing an album tour, which we're really excited about. We're going to um traveling up to Scotland for one of the dates, and then kind of that's we're going up to Glasgow, and that's like the furthest we're going, and then we'll come back down again. So we've got lots of dates around there, and we're hopefully hitting a few new cities as well as some cities that we've been to before. So we're playing in York again, which we're really excited about, and Leamington Spa, and there's a couple of extra things in there which we're really excited to announce. So hopefully we'll have all that up on our social media very soon.
That's great. Some nice towns there, especially like the the historical towns. English,
Yeah,
typical English towns there. And
yeah,
and
definitely.
and I know you do a lot of gigs in the southwest. Is it nice to branch out as well?
It is, yeah. So we tend to do the majority of our gigs are based in Cornwall, Devon, and sometimes Somerset, like that kind of area, because that's where we're from. We're from Cornwall, so we do lots of local gigs in a row, and we tend to drive to the gig and then drive home.
Mm.
But it's really nice to be able to branch out and perform in other areas. But we'd love to do that all the time. Obviously, it's not very cost effective, so we tend to we'll create a tour where we go on the road and we sleep in the back of our van basically and go from city to city and just try and spread the music as far as we can around the country. um, and we're also this year we'll be doing our first international gig, which we're really excited about. So in October, at the end of this year, we're going to be going to Portugal and performing at Costa del Folk Festival, which is a fantastic festival in a very nice hotel, which we're very excited about.
Lovely. And do you have an official website where people can, just keep up to date with, for your tour dates and
Mhm.
what's to come?
Yeah, so if you go to truefoxesmusic.com or .co.uk, we've got all the domains on there, so people don't know, they don't know what to type in. It's all just under True Foxes Music. And we've got our website, which has updates. So Amy puts a blog update on there so you can see what we've been up to. And there's also an events page, which we update regularly with our events that are coming up with the times and the details there. And you can also go to, we've got Bands in Town page, which has all our ticketed events on it. So if you head to that, and you can follow us on Bands on Town, and then you get regular email updates. If we've got a gig near you, it will pop up and say True Foxes are playing in London or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we kind of have our updates all over the place. If you follow us on Spotify as well, we have our dates, our ticketed dates up on there, and also our social media. We put everything on our Facebook page. If you're going to follow us on anything, follow us on Facebook because it's got everything you need to know on there.
But that's
Yeah.
great. Thanks for sharing that. And what do you like about interacting with your fans, communicating with your fans? I know you like to get involved with that side of things as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's lovely. My favorite part is just talking to people at gigs. So when we finish the performance, we go and we always chat to the people at the gigs, which is a really lovely feeling, and just find out where they're from and what kind of music they like, and just get feedback about the performance is really important because sometimes you don't know how other people have reacted to it, and it can be really nice to hear how someone's felt and how that your music has affected them. But also on social media, our kind of followers, our platform is really it feels like a community in a way. Like you have the same people commenting and liking your things, and it's the consistency of the same people. You kind of feel like you know them in a way, and we often do things like live streams where you can get that interaction with people who you won't necessarily see at gigs because maybe they live in a different country, but they can see you perform live and give you that direct commentary, which is really really nice. So we try and do live streams every now and then, which is lovely. But
Amazing.
yeah.
And going back to what I was saying about, touring again, what are you most looking forward to being back on the road again?
Oh, I mean, I just love all of it. It's so exciting. I mean, my least favorite part is probably sleeping in the van and having no money for several weeks in a row. But just being able to perform in these fantastic venues, each one is so unique. My favorite one is the Temperance Cafe in Leamington Spa, which we'll be returning to in on our tour, and it's just an amazing venue. They have they do all these teas, and that's we're not your traditional touring band. We sometimes taste the local ales, but our favourite thing to try is the tea. So we will drink all of the venues out of their tea. But yeah, just chatting to people from different parts of the country. Going to Glasgow, we've been there a couple of times now, and it's such a nice feeling that you're performing. I mean, in a different country, I guess. Scotland is a different country, isn't it? But you're talking to someone who lives so far away from you, and it's a different life. And how you're able to connect with someone through that one performance, and then it leaves like an indent, I guess, or from in that community, and people carry on listening to you then and following you on Spotify and things, and it's a lovely feeling.
And one final question I wanted to ask you on the show, as you know, I preview and promote independent artists. It's so hard these days. A lot of people, trying to, break into this music industry. If you have any words of advice to anyone starting out in the music industry, do you have any pearls of wisdom?
Ooh. I think there's no cheat code with music. There's something that we found is you're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn as you go. 100%. You'll find out different things about what you're supposed to have done already, how much you're meant to charge, and how you come across on stage. Like you can't go into it as a professional. You have to start somewhere, and often you start with zero knowledge at all. Speak to other musicians and really take people's advice, but try not to, take the criticism, but also some criticism you just don't need to listen to. and people are going to be mean and people are going to be lovely, and you just have to enjoy the little things from every performance and learn as you go, basically.
Great words of advice there. Well, Claire, I just want to say thank you for coming back on my show during this season as well. I hope you've had a great festive season and rest, and all the best for your tour as well. I hope to catch you at some point on one of your leg of your tours. So we'll make an effort to come and see you. And also me to do really
Amazing.
is play your new track on my radio show. So I'm going to play The Devil's Call In. And that was Chloe from the True Foxes. Thanks for, again, taking time out to speak to me today. Danny on my syndicated radio show here in the UK.
Thanks for having me.